Hello, my name is Paula Hurlock and welcome to my channel. Now, I haven't been on for a while, but as I said in a previous video, I've made sure to take the time to take some time off because it is in these breaks that we are able to observe and are able to assess and come to certain conclusions on what is going on in the world around us. Some people get downloads, some people get insights. I simply observe and, connect the dots. So today's topic is really about the resurgence of the Indigenous peoples and the rise of the melanated people globally. Now, for those of you who have not been paying attention, you should. You should take the time to step away from mainstream media and just observe what is happening that is not reported in your locality, and also observe what is happening among all the indigenous groups globally. Observe how slowly and steadily they've all been stepping forward and quietly and firmly asserting themselves. Take a look at the continent of Africa and watch what is taking place in South Africa. Look at what is taking place in Mali. Look at what is taking place in Niger. And there are many other things that are taking place that are just a lot more subtle. There's also still a lot of the colonial mindset in place, firmly in place, but slowly that is being eroded. And the persons who have continued to be puppets to the colonial masters and the colonial system are slowly being recognized and called out for the role that they continue to play in upholding the strictures and structures of the colonial system. Now, I'm coming to you from Jamaica, and Jamaica was a colony. In fact, we are still literally within just a few hours of celebrating our independence. So I'm making this recording just 10 hours after celebrating Jamaica's independence, right here in August 6th to be exact. And as a country, we have much to be proud of. We've made significant strides, but we still have entrenched in us, because of the education system, a lot of the colonial mindset. We still see ourselves as lesser, even though we are the majority. Many of us will never see ourselves owning the most beautiful and exquisite properties in Jamaica. Many of us still earn at the bare minimum. Many of our children are criminals, not because they want to be criminals, but because the system is simply not set up to absorb these young men after they finished school. Now, there's a very significant link between Jamaica and Africa for the obvious reasons: our history and the fact that most of the Jamaicans that live on this island at this time have their origins or their roots in Western Africa. And one may ask themselves, So, what is the connection? Why dwell on our history? But they say if you don't understand your past, you cannot understand your future. And there is a significant role that I believe Jamaicans have played over the years with Africa as it develops. I recall as a younger person witnessing the fall of apartheid in South Africa. And even though South Africa is thousands of miles away, the Jamaican musicians and singers and persons performing on stage shows in Jamaica, they chanted down that system. And it seems like a simple thing, but I witnessed their repeated affirmations for the fall of apartheid. And so we here in Jamaica and all our artists were singing for the fall of apartheid. And the persons in South Africa were also singing for the fall of apartheid. In fact, all over the world, there was some kind of unified affirmation for the fall of apartheid, and it happened. I'm saying that to say this: we are again at a particular juncture in history where the unification of our voices and our vision and our hearts and our minds and our spirits is going to be able to topple systems that are no longer serving the people in the motherland. And so this video is sort of a reminder to all melanated people all over the world, wherever you are, to understand that we need to have a unified vision of freedom and justice and equality for all our people all over the world. We need to have a unified, not just vision, we also need to have a unified voice on those same things. And we need to speak loudly and in unison so that the vibration of what we are saying echoes throughout this planet, so that the ears of those that are not speaking will hear, and they perhaps may decide to join in with their voice. It is important at this time because for anyone who can see, there is a clear correlation between what is happening out in the heavens and what is happening on earth. We're seeing the solar flares, and we know that those solar flares are activating humanity. We also know that those solar flares are activating the melanin because those solar flares bring with them codes, and the codes are interpreted by the melanin. I don't really know what the codes are saying, but the melanin knows the codes. And perhaps we will see in the next couple of days, weeks, months, years, what this activation is actually here to do. There are many theories out there. I will not state any outright explicitly. I am just using this platform to speak to all those that hear and all those that can understand at this time what I am saying. The gist of what I'm really saying is that we should all pay attention and play our role in shifting the paradigms that currently exist. Take a good hard look at history in its present form. Take a good hard look at the narratives that are currently being cultivated, because it is these same narratives that are being cultivated now that are going to be the foundations of history in the future. And knowing what we know now, a lot of the history that we have been taught and have embraced over the years is being challenged now with hard data, with hidden documents being revealed, with artifacts, artifacts that clearly depict things that have not been taught in history. Those will reveal themselves over time. You will see them when you're supposed to see them. But I just encourage everyone to be open and be receptive to what you are seeing. Don't just shut it down. Be receptive to it so that you are able to now understand even more of what you are seeing and you're able to connect the dots. There is a lot happening energetically. There is now the opportunity to shift the paradigms, to alter the timelines of 3D reality with our unified thoughts, with our unified voices, and with our unified vision. So, for all the persons in the motherland that are viewing this video, understand that this is a wake up call, a signal to you to know that it is time now for you to be able to look at your country, look at your history, and look at where you are now as a collective, and to start to take the necessary steps to unite rather than fight with your brothers and sisters. Remember, the political boundaries and borders that exist currently were established artificially by colonizers to divide the spoils. And so it's an imaginary line. But we have all embraced the imaginary line and those imaginary lines have created separation, unnecessary separation. In my opinion, the separation is a form of divide and conquer. So what we need to be doing now is erasing those lines and recognizing ourselves as one so that we are able to stand up for what we feel will serve our collective. And when I say our collective, I mean the melanated collective globally. Because even though I'm in Jamaica, we must understand that even though we are separated spatially, there is a bond that is invisible but exists. We are the same people. We just happen to be in another part of the world. What we need to be doing is looking at how we can work together energetically. Yes, I know the persons in the places of power are signing the necessary documentation to say, come and live in this country. You are free, you are welcome to come. And many are taking up the invitation. What you need to do is ensure that you take care of the ones that have been bold enough to come. Right? I'm hearing some stories about how some of it is not as easy as it was designed to be because of unscrupulous persons, of course. Right? But the faster we get this done, the better it is for everyone. So we go in peace, we go with clarity, and we cultivate a strong unity among ourselves and a strong understanding of how the colonizers will still seek to create opportunities for separation. In Jamaica, we have a terminology called the house slave. And for those who don't understand the terminology, although I think most people do, the house slave is a slave that happened to work in the house and found themselves to be closer to the slave master, and so was able to get certain benefits, derive certain benefits. And after a while, the house slaves sort of took on the persona of the colonizer and felt themselves separate from the field slaves. They virtually became the puppets and the persons that the slave masters would work through to control the other slaves. So ask yourselves at all times, am I being a house slave? Am I selling out my brothers and sisters because I've achieved or attained a certain level educationally or financially? Or have I retained some level of objectivity and I'm still able to empower and assist my Black brothers and sisters? That's a question that we should always ask ourselves. It's a valuable question to always ask yourself. So we are right on the brink of the Lion's Gate. This is the day before the 8/8. I am recording this. And the Lion's Gate is particularly significant to those in the motherland, especially those with who have followed the Kemetic path. It is symbolic of Sirius, Sirius star system, in alignment with Orion, and it is energetically a very powerful time. And so it is a powerful time for us to be thinking about how we shift paradigms, how we release the baggage of the past and step into an energetic space that serves us on the personal level and on the collective level. We must never forget the collective level, because on the personal level we can go far, but on the collective level we can go even further. And benefits that accrue to the collective will advance the benefits that accrue at the personal level. So this is just my admonition for people all over the world to understand that there is, in fact, a spiritual and energetic connection between melanated people from all over the world. I am here in Jamaica and I know there is a powerful spiritual and energetic connection between Africa and Jamaica. And one may say, Jamaica is a little island and we love to dance and we love to run and we're rebellious. What role could we possibly play in elevating the situation in Africa? But I say to you, we're a little island and we are powerful. And one of the things that I do see is that without any leadership, we tend to find our way to where we need to be to advance ourselves. It is not visible to the untrained eye, but for anybody who understands energetic connection, they can see also that there are correlations happening in Jamaica and that what we do in Jamaica impacts what happens in Africa and vice versa. So we are all paying attention, even though our situation sometimes leads to us being so filled with stress that we cannot think on the larger and more expansive scale, there is still a part of us that is paying attention. So this is just my call for us to remember that connection, and to know that that connection is going to be further activated and amplified by the Lionsgate portal and the energies of the August 12th vortex of energy that will be open. Let us utilize it wisely, and let us understand, even if we see this video much later on, let us now look back and see what happened in August and in September and in October, and whether or not this period had anything to do with it. As we speak, I'm also made aware of an X-class flare that hit the planet yesterday. It's the 6th, and so it will be affecting our planet between the 8th and the 12th. A lot of energy coming in. So hopefully everyone will see this video and can tap into that energy and hold a clear vision of freedom, of justice, of good health, of everyone being able to contribute in a meaningful way to creating heaven right here on earth. It is possible at this time. It is possible, especially with awareness of our spiritual power.